Heck
Good
no.
morning, y'all. So, I had a question that was asked to me about how I was able to afford to go to South Korea. And I keep y'all updated with, um, the different journey and stuff that God has put my family and I on. So, earlier this year, God had told me to book a flight, and I did. And it was to the Philippines. I had never left the country before. I'd never even been on a plane before. And I was like, okay, and I had really battled it, right? If I should go, if I shouldn't go, and different things. Until God made it obvious. Well, I waited till like the very last moment to book a flight, literally a couple days before it was time to depart. So it cost me a bunch of money, and I was so upset because I had been saving up money for different things, right? And so God had told me one day I was sleeping, and He said, "You will recover it all. You will recover everything the enemy has stolen." And I was like, okay. Y'all, when I tell you I made back like everything that I spent on that trip, like getting there and what I spent, like God had sent me so much money, and I made a video about that, right? The financial blessings that came through. And I was like, okay. And then God put it on my heart to book a flight again. And now I had to move out of my house by the end of September. And I'm like, God, and I was doubting, like, shouldn't I be finding another place to stay, you know? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna trust God, and I'm gonna make this flight. And I truly feel like the first flight was like a practice run, if you will. So we sold like almost all of our stuff. We have a storage back at home with some of our stuff in it, but really it's not that much. And I booked this flight, trusting God and that He's going to provide. And y'all, upon arriving, they lost our check luggage. I was freaking out. I was so upset. Really, I was super angry. But it truly worked out in our favor, right? It's been like 2 days without our luggage, but they found our luggage. They're getting it to us today. And the first couple of days, we were unsettled. Um, we were moving hotels. I didn't map out like where we were supposed to go, so it really was a blessing in disguise. But I've noticed different things happening now that I've been obedient to God. So when God tells you to move, be in obedience and watch the doors that open up for you that weren't. It was almost like being where I was at, there were blessings there, but I've noticed more blessings now that we've gotten up and we've moved and we've made this transition. There's certain things that I prayed about. Well, you can pray about something, but if you don't put in the work, how are you going to get it, right? I prayed like, God, I want to travel. God, I want to do this. Well, if you don't actually get up and go, how is it going to work out for you, right? And I had asked God, I was like, God, give me another chance. So I'm here. I spent the money for the flights to get here, and I'm relying solely on God's provision while we're on this trip. I still have some money put back that I had saved because God had told me to save. God had told me to do this, so I was obedient and I did that. But I mean, obviously, I can't go and do. I guess I could find an online job, but whatever. But so I'm relying on God during this trip, and I had somebody ask that, like, how was that able to happen? Well, because God had told me to save money. I did. And then God had provided the money for this trip. Literally, like right before I booked the flight at the end of August, God provided me the money for this trip to get here. And it's like I need some dental work done pretty bad. And in America, it's very expensive. Even with insurance, it is very expensive. And where we're going to be going next, it's very cheap. It's very cheap. So I'll be able to do that as well and let my children have an adventure. So this is your sign. Like if God's been telling you to move, it may not be in your country. It may be somewhere else. Maybe He's just warning you to get up and go and actually to live your life and to trust Him, to trust His provision and His timing more than your own. And so even if something happens, like trust it. Like our luggage getting lost, I was so upset. So upset, but in reality it was a blessing to us, so we didn't have to lug around all this checked luggage for the first couple of days. And now I've been wearing the same outfit for several days, and that kind of sucks, but They found our luggage. It's here. It's provided. You know what I mean? Like, God, He's going to provide. He's going to provide. So whatever it is that you're going through, He's going to provide. Be obedient, even if it looks like something extreme. Y'all, booking a flight to a whole different country was extreme, considering I had never even been on a plane. But I wouldn't take it back. I wouldn't take it back. So, as your sister in Christ, I love you. God bless you. Shalom.